Hello everyone, welcome back to another transfer video. Hope you guys are all doing well. Once again, not much news, but there has been some updates on the transfer news. And look at the view. You can see in the background a very nice day. If only Arsenal's transfer window and transfer news was as good. But yeah, let's get started. Let's get on started onto one of the biggest U-turns, I would say. Now it is in regards to, of course, the striker hunt. And now this whole summer window, we're gonna keep hearing it. Gyökeres, Sesko. 1 minute it looked like Sesko was almost a done deal. Arsenal were trying to advance talks, and he looked like, it was almost done. But suddenly, in the last few days or even last week, I would say there's been a slight shift, and you can see almost Sesko's news slowing down whilst Gyökeres one speeding up. And now it has been reported by I forgot, I think it's the Guardian, I'm probably gonna butcher it. It's the Independent, that apparently there is still a 10 million gap between Arsenal and Leipzig on Benjamin Sesko. So it looks like both clubs are trying to get the best out of the deal. Apparently there's also been some reports, apparently Sesko's wage demands apparently are not in line with what Arsenal believe he is worth. Apparently he's demanding up to 200k, was Arsenal saying nope, not 200k, you're only going to get flipping 150k, whatever it was. So I'm not too sure what it was specifically, but I know I've seen some reports. Apparently there have been some disagreement in regards to the contract and wages. Now at the same time, apparently it looked like a lot of Portuguese media outlet has been saying that apparently Arsenal have agreed terms and everything with Gyökeres. Apparently Gyökeres only wants Arsenal. He's rejected the clubs of like Juventus, Manchester United, and he only wants Arsenal. And for me, that's a positive sign. Like for me, I've said it. You want a player that wants to play for Arsenal. You don't want a player that sees Arsenal as like a third or fourth choice. And for me, that's why I want Gyökeres just a bit more, because I feel like he's a player with Sesko. You're seeing the reports of whether he didn't want to come last season because he didn't want to play backup to Kai Havertz. And there's also talks about apparently him wanting a release clause in his contract if he does join Arsenal. So for me, you don't want a player that sees Arsenal as a stepping stone. Even if you don't want a player from the get-go signing seen as an Arsenal as a stepping stone. You don't want that. And that's why for me, Gyökeres, in terms of that side, he favors the move more. Like you're signing a player that wants to play for Arsenal. He's literally rejecting clubs to play for Arsenal, and that's the best thing you want. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. To be honest, nothing has been confirmed that much in terms of big media journalists. There's still talks. Of course, we're gonna have to wait in the next few weeks. I think that's when we're gonna see more concrete talks about the Gyökeres and Sesko. For me, like I said, I want Gyökeres, but at this moment, we just need a striker. We need a striker ASAP, and the sooner we get someone, the better. Now, the second talk is in regards to another big transfer update, and that is regards to Rodrygo. Now, John Cross from the media has said that apparently Arsenal have made Rodrygo one of the number one priority, and there's another journalist by Graham Bailey who has been saying that Andrea Berta has been doing a lot of work in the background on deal for Rodrygo in the recent weeks, attempting to understand the makeup of a potential transfer, and preliminary talks have taken place with the players' representatives. Apparently, Real Madrid want up to £70 million, even though they think he could be worth close to £100 million. Now, £70 million is a no-brainer. You're signing a player like Rodrygo, a ceiling like razor. Like that is what he is. He is going to take you to that next level because he is a player that's played at the top level, Champions League, World Cup, winning La Liga. This guy knows what it takes to win. This guy has experience winning, and he's been in games where he's been the difference maker. And I think that's exactly what Arsenal need. We need an X factor player, a player that is like a maverick, a player that can do something completely different to our current set of players, and Rodrygo fits that bill. I think if we get Rodrygo, our level straight away just jumps up, because now you have a player that can pull off magic without relying on anyone, and that gives you more goals and assists. And that's one thing also I've been lacking. Bar Saka, how many players do you think could take on the man, beat two man, and then take a shot and goes in? Like, not many Arsenal players can do that except Saka, and we need more of that, because what happens is when you are in these type of games and you're going against mid tables, and that is one of the reasons why we drew a lot of games last season, because we don't have enough players like difference makers. We don't have any players that are going to grab the ball, beat two men, and whip it far bins. Like, how many players of Arsenal are going to do that? Only Saka, and we need more of that. So for me, Rodrygo is a perfect player in terms of price, 70 million pounds, take it. Like, that is a bargain for a player of that level, especially when you look at the winger market right now, because we're going to talk about the next winger. 70 million pounds for a player of that level is a bargain. Whether we sign him, I don't even know. But to be honest, this deal, I do feel a bit confident in. Yesterday, Real Madrid played in the Club World Cup. The guy didn't even get a single minute. He didn't even start. He was on the bench and he didn't even get a single minute on. And Arda Güler played, and maybe it looks like Güler could be in the higher pecking order compared to Rodrygo. So for me, that gives me confidence. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because a deal like this, I'll be honest, this deal is going to be dragged out. We're looking at July time, potentially near the start of the season. That's how long these type of deals are going to be dragged out for, especially Real Madrid. They know they don't have to sell. And to be honest, Rodrygo, even though he may want to move, I don't think he's pushing for a move like that. So Real Madrid have all the power in this transfer like this. So this will be a frustrating one. And the second one is, I can't believe I'm even talking about it. Noni Madueke. Apparently, Arsenal have been speaking to Chelsea about a potential move. Apparently, Chelsea want £50 million, which is not a price Arsenal want to go. Get this, a keyword, right now. And there's a possibility that this deal may be revived later in the summer. Like, I've said it in my last video. Why are we still talking to Chelsea? Why isn't Chelsea's number blocked on the contact list? Like, we shouldn't have any communications with Chelsea. I'm so sick and tired of always rummaging to Chelsea's scrap. And £50 million, if Arsenal even think about spending £50 million on Madueke, bin the season from the start. Like, I am sick and tired. I don't even want to speak about him anymore, because to be honest, it's not that he's a bad player, okay? Firstly, it's the fact that what does he give us that we currently do not have? His best position is a right wing, and we already have Saka on the right wing. Are we about to spend another 50 million on a right winger when we clearly need to invest that money on a left winger? If in the situation you sign a left winger and a striker, and then he's an option, then I don't mind. But if this is a transfer you're trying to get from the get-go, no, it simply doesn't work. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Make sure if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's hope tomorrow we get a more positive transfer news. Thank you guys for watching.